He is Vincent Keller, aka The Beast. Jay Ryan. You might know this next lady, playing Catherine Chandler. Kristin Kreuk is in the house! Yeah, she's right there! And you love their work on Smallville. Please put together your hands together for executive producers Peterson and Kelly Souders right here. So guys, Kristin, I'm gonna start with you. Some girls have all the luck. First you got freaking Superman watching your back, and now you got this genetically modified super soldier. You got some friends in some pretty powerful places.
I seem to, don't I? It's pretty great.
It is great, but you can, the one thing I noticed about this, and we spoke about this earlier today, is that you can hold your own. There's that scene, let's pause for the cause for a second, ladies and gentlemen, and talk about that subway scene. Because, all right, here's my favorite part. So she takes down these two dudes, right? She's like, all right, whatever, so that was too easy.
Yeah, whatever.
And then this woman wearing a black leather jacket, all right, takes off her music, and what is she listening to but Christopher Cross, Sailing. Because everyone I know gets pumped up for a big fight by listening to a little Christopher Cross. Am I right? But Catherine can take care of herself, is what we saw in that scene.
Yeah, she's very capable. I mean, it's really important to her to be able to not be a victim in circumstances, especially after her mom is killed in front of her. There are a lot of you guys out there.
Yeah, look at that.
Hi.
All right, Jay, let me just say, you are an absurdly good-looking beast, okay? All right? And people go, woo! That means they're great. But are you a little, is there a little party, a little bump you don't get to wear the line mullet? Like, rock that out a little bit?
Well, I had partially a line mullet there to cover up my bald head at the time. But yeah, I was wondering what the Beast creation was going to look like when we went into this. And it's still in development as well, from the pilot we've sort of adapted it a little bit more. But yeah, he's not a lion sort of creature as fact. Obviously ours is a military experiment, so it's more of a chemical imbalance in his body.
And as he gets sort of the adrenaline or the rage or something, we see the...
Yeah, he's very veiny. Yeah. He's not vain.
Jennifer, I want to ask you, there were actually, as some of you in the audience may know, there were at one point two Beauty and the Beast projects sort of in development at the same time. ABC had something going and so did you. And from what I understand, there's a little competition for Miss Kreuk's services.
From what?
For Kristin's services there. Oh, so how'd you land the big fish here?
You know what we did? We wooed her with cupcakes.
Cupcakes?
We wooed her with cupcakes. Sherri and I met her, and we were mad for her and wanted her really badly. And so we drove to her agent's office and showed up, and the whole time we were like, this is ridiculous. What are we doing? We're bringing her cupcakes. But it worked. She's so easy.
What kind of cupcakes are we talking about here? Red velvet at least? I mean, what do we got?
I think it was assorted.
Okay, so just to cover your bases. I like that.
Nothing, by the way.
Yeah, you didn't get any cupcakes?
No cupcakes. I'm still waiting.
And still waiting. Sherri, obviously the question is, how much of the DNA of the 80s series is still in here? Obviously, Kristin's character and Linda Hamilton share the same name, but how much is in there, and how is the show new and different, and how have you sort of tweaked it?
Well, all the romance is still there. It's a procedural with this beautiful forbidden romance that it's all built around, and we've got Peterson's name. But at its heart, we have the 3 executive producers from the original show, and they sort of agreed that the spirit is similar, but of course it's a completely different reimagining in that we figured out his origin story. But I think ultimately it's the same thing as the old fairy tale. It's the universal Beauty and the Beast story. It's forbidden love. And it's still about that show that was all about these people who lived underground, and there was a beast. He really looked like a beast, but the theme was there are beauties in the world and beasts in the world, and there's beauty and beast in each of us. And hopefully that's what we're doing here too.
Brian, on Smallville, you guys did a great job of sort of having your sort of, plot of the week storyline going on, but at the same time having your serialized sort of mythology and things happening as well, and marrying those two. How much are we going to be seeing in terms of the serialized element with Operation Mirrorfield and learning the background of these experiments and how Kristin's mother's character maybe was or wasn't involved in that?
We're kind of finding that balance right now. To be honest, I think the one thing that we really want is to focus a little bit on what an amazing detective Catherine is. And so those cases will take up a little bit more of the story, but we have some pretty great mythology payoffs. I think in every episode, we move the characters forward and we move their story both romantically and mythologically forward.
It is your turn, Kelly. You can do the math right now, all the way down.
I figured out this.
Right. So Kelly, when you have a show like this and an attraction between two characters, there's always the question, will they, won't they? Actually, I think the most important question is sort of, a lot of times is when will they? So is that something you talk about? How do we want to play this attraction? How far does it go? And how does it progress in terms of when we want to get maybe to a certain place?
Well, first of all, you forgot how often will they?
In what positions will they?
I didn't say that. What's great about Kristin and Jay is that when you see them on screen, there's just chemistry, and a part of that's just that they have so much fun together, and it really comes across. So I think that obviously the attraction and the pull is there, but there's a lot of story, a lot of elements, both mythologically and also in their backstory that you'll uncover that's going to make it a little bit of a struggle for them to get together often. But we're going to try.
Okay, we'll hold you to that. Kristin, who's really helping whom in this relationship or situation? You both sort of have your different demons. One sort of resembles a demon physically, and then obviously you have your internal stuff. So what's going on here?
I think the two of them really are ultimately partners. I think they're going to be working to help each other, and I think they're going to come up against a lot of their issues as they go through that, because as you're saying, they both have incredible struggles that are going to keep them from actually being with each other. They both don't trust people, it's going to be really hard for them to do that.
And Jay, how physical are we going to get to see you in this role? You're sort of a blur, we see the sort of the beast gets into almost this moody sort of shadows and this and that. Are we going to get to see you sort of kick some ass?
I think with the pilot it was the idea that less is more, just to so we have room to move through the series. But with Rick Boda, who's going to do our first episodes as a director, he wants to bring in I don't know if he's spoken to the EPs about this, but he wants to bring in harness work and and sort of look into how beastly this guy is. What's his strengths? How high can he jump? How far can he jump? So in terms of the physical aspect, it's going to get a bit more exciting, I think.
Jennifer, just give us a taste in terms of, we've seen the pilot now. You guys have had time to go through it. You've had time to chart out where we're going to go over here. In terms of where we are going to turn, in terms of not just story but tone, what can people look forward to? Now that they've seen the first episode, what should they be looking forward to in episode 2?
Are you just episode 2? Or?
Well, just and beyond.
There's so many ingredients in the show. There's the romance, and there's the mythology, and then there's the procedural element. And so I think that each episode, we're trying to figure out what the right balance is of those things, but some episodes are going to be darker. The pilot was quite dark. And some are going to be light and really about Vincent and Catherine's relationship. So I think it's going to vary from episode to episode, depending on...
That's all new to me.
Depending on...
Are those cupcakes here yet, by the way?
Depending on what the focus of that episode would be. So, but Sherri and I really like writing light, funny stuff, so we'll try and hopefully it won't all get cut out, but we're going to try it.
Sherri, is Vincent alone in terms of these Operation Mirrorfield experiments? They said they were all killed off. Are there others out there?
You ask a good question. Perhaps, but for now we're focusing on Vincent. But we will be exploring. There's only one beauty and one beast.
I think it would be cool if there was a female beast.
Oh.
In that flashback military scene, there is one female in there that could be out there somewhere, maybe in this audience?
Maybe in the second.
Well, guys, I know you enjoyed the pilot. I know that you guys probably have some questions you'd like to ask the stars and producers of Beauty and the Beast, so I'd love to open up the floor and get some of your questions in there while we can. So if you have a question, please let us know. Get it in there. This is your chance to talk to the cast and producers of Beauty and the Beast. What do we got? Anyone?
Masyadong malayo.
Is there microphones going around here? Oh, there we go, right back there. Go ahead. Go get a line back there, guys, if you want to ask a question. Go ahead.
Hi. There are a lot of procedurals with a twist on TV at the moment. What makes Beauty and the Beast different?
What makes your show unique from some of the other shows like that?
I think a lot of this procedural show is really a character procedural show, and we're going to be focusing on the cases will always be seen sort of through their relationship. So it's a different kind of procedure. We're not all about the twists and turns, but what's emotionally going on with our characters and these two lovely people right here. And then, we're also, what we haven't really seen on TV in a while, I think, is two young female detectives making it out there and being strong detectives. There are lots of female cops out there, and we've talked to them, and we want to show the reality of that.
Next, yes, thank you for your question.
We all know Kristin, obviously, from Smallville, and I just wanted to know if any of your co-stars from Smallville will be making guest appearances.
Wouldn't that be great? If we could get someone to do it, I think it'd be fun. But
they're all jobless.
maybe some of them would do it. I don't know. I don't know. That'd be great.
Ryan, Kelly, would you like to add anything to that?
I think we would definitely. I mean, all of them are really great actors and have a lot of breadth. So it'd be really fun to bring them in as a different role. Maybe we should send them some cupcakes.
I'm still waiting.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Hi, this question is for Kristin. I watched the old series. Sorry, this thing's echoing. I watched the old series and wondered if you drew from Linda Hamilton's performance or the character of Catherine from the original series at all?
I did not. I think it's important that we look at what they're creating, what these guys are creating, and just really make that as amazing and real as possible. I've only seen a little bit of the original series, but she's Linda Hamilton. She's amazing, and I don't know. I don't think I could compare myself or try to be like her. So I just try to make it as real as possible.
Thank you. Yes.
Hello, how you doing? Hi. So my question is for Jay. I know that you did a lot of physical stunts. So did you actually watch the old Beauty and the Beast and try to be fit and run like crazy like him and jump up trees like Tarzan?
That's why they didn't give you the cupcakes.
Yeah, there wasn't a huge physical element to it, especially when he transforms into the Beast. I use every muscle in my body, I've discovered. We're just doing makeup tests yesterday, not every muscle. We were doing makeup tests yesterday, and we were playing around with the new director, and I noticed every every muscle in my neck is in pain. So I've got to sort of work out how not to do that. But yeah, I think the physicality of the Beast within the series can be explored a lot more, and get him sort of jumping up walls and, have Catherine under one arm and I don't know.
Great, yes, please.
Hi. I was wondering, Kristin, how old were you when you started acting?
I've been acting since I was quite young, but professionally I was 17 when I started working for money.
For money.
Acting.
you for that question and answer.
Hi, Kristin. I was just wondering, what's it like to go from the role of Lana Lang to Katherine Chandler?
Yeah, you know what, it's really great. I think that she is, I mean, at the end of the show, Lana was incredibly strong and really came into her own, in my opinion. And I think that it's cool because I get to start with Katherine, and she's a very different character in many ways, but she's got a certain strength, and she's also emotionally restricted a little bit in the way that Lana wasn't, who was very emotionally expressive and really vulnerable all the time, and Katherine isn't that way. So I think it's a really good flip for me.
Thank you.
We have time for one more question.
Oh, make it a good one, man. This entire hall, it's all on you, right there. You might have to call an audible, go to a backup question, it better be good.
Well, I want to say, Kristin, I liked you in Smallville. You're really good.
Thanks.
Jay, I believe you could have done more with We Got Cupcakes. But,
man,
when does the show start? Like,
Oh, there,
exactly.
thank you.
October 11th.
October 11th?
Yeah, we start shooting at the end of the month and go through to December. And then, yeah, October in the fall we start on air.
October 11th.
Yeah.
October 11th on the CW. I want to thank the cast and crew for coming out here and showing you the whole pilot. How about that, huh? And thanks to all you guys for showing up. We really appreciate the listen. If you didn't ask a question, but you want to, you still can. Send it to the hashtag BATB SDCC, and the cast and crew will answer some of your questions. They're going to be at the CW.